It's been a while since I've said this, but welcome to the Dad and Daughter Download presented by the Causeway family of dealerships. I remain the dad, Kevin Williams.
And I am still the daughter, Alex Williams. And we're boomer dad and millennial daughter talking pop culture, sports, and life from me in Manhattan and dad at the Jersey Shore.
And of course, we are proudly presented by the Causeway family of dealerships on Route 72 in Manahawkin, home of Ford, Lincoln, Hyundai, Nissan, and Honda. We are excited to endorse Causeway because they not only sell and service great cars, SUVs, trucks, even commercial vehicles, but are committed to the community through their Causeway Cares Foundation. They are Ocean County's hometown dealer, and check them out at causewaycars.com. We are very appreciative of Causeway's support of our podcast, and we can't thank the Wintrode family and Joe Straffolino enough. Now, I say that because after 28 episodes going back to, I guess, in October, this is our final one for, well, that's the question. We are certainly taking the summer off and we'll re-examine in the fall. But we'll have more to say on that later. Hi, Al.
Hi, Dad. How are you?
Okay, it's been a while since we've done this.
It really has. I know. It felt weird coming on. I was like, what's going on here?
Well, I think for timely reasons, we have to start with the team that you're wearing a hat for, and mine is on the way here. But hopefully, we are among the millions of proud fans of the New York Knicks who are celebrating an NBA championship following Saturday night in San Antonio when we polished off the Spurs in 5 games. And like has been the case in that series, the Knicks fell behind early, fell behind by a lot. Looked like, this is not going to be our night. And Superman came to the rescue. He's also known as Jalen Brunson, who had just an incredible game, especially in the second half. And the Knicks rallied for the win and their first NBA championship. The easiest way for me to say it is since I was a senior in high school. And
That's so crazy.
And now I'm a very well into my senior citizen, not senior in high school. 1973, the last time, 53 years ago. And of course, the Knicks are the story in the metropolitan area. And of course, will be through Thursday when they have the parade down the Canyon of Heroes, which is basically outside the front door of Alex's apartment. So you can be sure she'll be among those watching the parade. She doesn't even have to walk that far. And it has just been, it's just been an amazing thing. Al, what's your take?
It really has been incredible to see the transformation of New York City and how everyone has come together. Unfortunately, as a New York City resident, I really was not here for any of the games. I was traveling for work for the first 2, and then I was back late for the third, and then I was away this past weekend. So I feel like I haven't really gotten to celebrate like in the streets like you've seen, but even just getting on the subway to work, or everyone is just in such a good mood and kind of all celebrating for the same reason, which has been amazing to see and be a part of.
It's certainly something that New Yorkers needed. It's a lift.
1,000%.
Right? I mean, as you know from being there now and back for work, I mean, people just genuinely seem happy, which is unusual in New York. Unfortunately, I used to always say when we would watch celebrations in other cities and they would set fires and do stuff like that, the good news is New York teams don't do that. Well, I won't get into why I think it happened this time around. I'll leave that for another day in a private audience. But it was slightly embarrassing, maybe more than slightly embarrassing, that people, unfortunately, it's a small minority. We all know it's a handful, relatively speaking, but things did get out of control, and it was terrible, and people were injured, and some police officers were injured. And I certainly hope the behavior for the parade, which starts at 10 o'clock in the morning, will be a lot better. But as I've shared with you, we have a text group going that is the two of us, my brother, my son, and my nephew. That text chain was very active
Oh
the
my
last 5 weeks or so, which was wild. And I will admit that I was the Debbie Downer, much of it. The game's over, forget it. The other night when they were down 29, and of course, Alex, Brandon, our son, Brian, your uncle, my brother, and Trevor, our nephew, or my nephew, they were at the game, and I suggested in the third quarter you guys might want to leave early to beat the traffic home. Fortunately, they didn't listen to me because they saw one of the great epic
insane.
comebacks in the history of sports.
Oh, by far. Like that is a game that obviously if you were there, you will remember, but even if you watched it, you will kind of talk about, and I think you do this with me, like the nostalgia factor, like you remember exactly where you were when that happened, and that game is going to be one of those moments.
It's a bucket lister. Listen, ironically, they were supposed to actually, well, first of all, Brandon and Trevor weren't even supposed to go. I'm not going to go into details. It's a week old, but you know, they were. My brother originally was supposed to go to Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals through a business contact, but because the Knicks swept that series in 4, there was no Game 5. So he sort of dropped a hint. Well, what about the finals? And they go, oh, that's going to be hard. That's going to be really hard. This company has a suite, 16 people in the suite, and it's going to be very challenging. Well, they ended up getting the 2 seats in there and then 2 other seats down low for Brandon and Trevor. But I thought the funniest thing was when I finally talked to Uncle Brian the next night, when he had no voice whatsoever. He was like, yeah. But he's telling me who was in the suite, and it was a mishmash of people that you can't imagine. Whoopi Goldberg,
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, you didn't know who was in the suite?
No,
Oh, I'm telling you this for the first time.
because
So there's
I was talking to him this weekend, but then I had to go, so I didn't get to this part.
All right, so in the suite, which has 16 seats, after they have the food and all that in the bathroom, and then you step down and there's 8 on one side and 8 on the other. So
I've
in
been
the
in the
suite,
suite. Yeah, I was in the suite
Whoop,
earlier
all
this
right,
year.
you were there. Whoopi Goldberg and a guest, right? Michael Che, and I might have been his son, I'm not sure, or with someone else. Liam Neeson.
What?
Figure Liam Neeson. What is he doing there? Now, I keep forgetting the name. It was a rapper from like 20 or 30 years ago that Uncle Brian had no idea who he was. The guy he was with, Alex, he knew who he was. He was apparently a big deal at one time. My brother's Uncle Brian said he had a diamond necklace that it looked like it weighed about 30 pounds. And he ended up sitting next to Brian, and they talked most of the night.
That's
But the other
hilarious.
one, like after everyone was there, who walks in? New York Jets owner Woody Johnson and his son. And while everyone else was pretty much wearing Nick clothing, they had blue suits and white shirts on.
Oh my gosh.
It was just a weird, what a mixture of people,
That's
right?
crazy. That's
So you
amazing.
got to figure some of them were celebs who they couldn't find seats for, maybe down
Yeah.
low, and they have access to some suites. And anyway, but they saw a great game. We witnessed a great series. It was so exciting for me. It's been so long. I've gone through ups and downs as a Knick fan, but this playoff run was just never
Yeah.
forget it. Never
No,
forget it.
truly. Truly. And I can't wait for the parade on Thursday.
Yeah, it should be awesome. I hope it's awesome. Weather looks a little dicey right now. Hopefully it'll clear up. So anyway, we're excited about the Knicks. For me, it's the first really passionate team I root for that has won since the Rangers in 1994. Now I know the Giants have won Super Bowls since, but I don't pretend. I'm not a passionate Giants fan.
Yeah.
Brandon is. Brandon lives and dies the Giants. I root for him, among more than any other team. I don't root for anyone else. I root for them, but I'm not passionate. I am passionate about Penn State, the Knicks, the Rangers, and the Mets, and I have not had a championship team since 1994. I certainly hope I don't have to wait that much longer because if that's the case, I probably saw my last championship.
Okay, let's not like get
Okay, well, I'm just,
dark.
certainly if it's 53 years before the Knicks, I won't see another one, that's for
Okay.
sure. All
Okay.
right. All right. So anyway, so that's the Knicks. We're all happy. I know a lot of people around here are Knicks fans. We're not in New York City, but we're sort of attached to the city when it comes to sports, both New York and Philadelphia, depending on where you live. But it was great. It was great. Now, you and I, among others, are just really thrilled about it.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I think the personalities of the players on the team, like, they're just a good group of guys. Like, watching them in interviews, I love them. I really do.
One of the things that got me off the Knicks years ago was that I didn't like the players. They had guys on the team that I was not Latrell Sprewell, just guys I didn't like them. Like I found them hard to root for. This team is among the most likable guys you will ever
I
find
agree.
on a sports team. I mean, we watched all the five starters were on the Today Show. Were on Good Morning America on Monday. I mean, they're smiling and laughing, and they're tired as heck because they've been partying. But boy, does it make it even nicer to root for a team in which you like the players.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
Okay, so let me just say that, like with Causeway, we are very thankful to our friends at the Crab's Claw Inn for their support of our weekly podcast. Of course, special thanks to Sam and Eileen for backing our efforts while also allowing us to talk about one of our favorite restaurants, especially during the off season. Now that summer is here, the Crab's Claw is not only popular among locals, but the many visitors who frequent Lavalette and other parts of the shore area. Here's hoping they have a great summer, and we strongly suggest you pay a visit or two or three, and thank you again to the Crab's Claw. Okay, so our second segment, and the one we'll spend the rest of the time on, is I can't, I wish I had the first one when I did it,
I
the first
know. I can't believe
time
you.
I did it. But I'm going to say it was somewhere around 12 to 15 years ago. Out of nowhere, yeah, on WOBM, when I used to do the Hometown View on a daily basis, I now do it every Friday morning, 6:35 and 7:35 on 92.7. And of course, I post it on social media. But I do a thing called the Hometown View. And some 12 to 15 years ago, I did a thing which I called my 10 Beach Commandments. I don't remember what sparked it. I think I heard someone talk about what they thought about the beach, and I thought, they don't know the beach. Who is this person giving this? I'm a professional beach person. Like I go to the beach like it's a second job in the summer, one that I really like. And I've done it every year since, and I always usually tie it in right to the start of summer, which is the end of this week. So I thought Alex and I would finish on a strong note with my 10 beach commandments. Now, for many of us, knowing the do's and don'ts of a day at the beach are obvious, but boy, some people, as you know, really need a crash course or reminder about how to behave when they come to the Jersey Shore. There are other people who will do things like this. However, mine is official. This is the only one that's official. So I'm
Yeah.
going to throw them down there, and I want you to comment, and then if I missed a couple that you feel.
Yeah, sounds good.
Do not crowd thy neighbor. We do not go to the beach like in Coney Island, where you can't get a speck of sand. So seek some space between yourself and those nearby. It's fine to love thy neighbor, but there is no reason to sit right on top of him or her.
I agree with
Alex?
that. No, I agree with that. I think there's been situations where a holiday weekend, the beach where we go, it does get very crowded. So we are early risers. We are there before most people. So we obviously claim our territory. But I do, to a degree, when it's those really crowded days, sometimes I'll be like, okay, we can pick up the large blanket that we rolled out to give other people space. But I do 100% agree with it. There's nothing worse than someone sitting on top of you, especially when they're playing music and whatnot.
I always wanted to get like the police crime scene tape, the yellow tape, and like put things up and then tie the tape around it so everyone knows this is a protected area. But I never did that.
Yeah.
Okay, number two, do not wear a bathing suit. Do wear a bathing suit that matches your body. Gravity does things as we get older. So if you're going to wear a thong or a Speedo, first, please do everyone a favor. Look in the mirror.
I don't agree with this.
I knew you wouldn't.
This is I it's 2026. Like, people don't have to wear something that they're like, "Oh, I hope everyone else thinks I look good." If they're confident and they want to leave the house wearing that, then let them do it. It's not affecting you. So that's
I'm
my
not going to make a comment because I think I'd only bury myself more in your eyes.
yeah.
So I'm just going to go to number three.
Okay.
Do not, do not feed the seagulls. It's nice that you love birds, but when you feed one, you bring an entire colony. Plus, the food you're feeding them is actually harmful to birds.
I agree with that. It's like people feeding the pigeons here in New York. I think it's disgusting.
I don't think there's anything else you have to say about that one.
Yep, that's it.
Number four, do learn how to operate your beach umbrella. This is especially important on a windy day. Make sure the base is dug in well, angle the umbrella into the wind, and keep it as low as possible. If it takes off like a javelin down the beach and nearly spears someone, first of all, don't laugh and then put it up the same way again.
I agree with this. Or I think if you don't know how to operate it, go ask the lifeguards. Like, there's people that can, especially if you haven't really been to the beach before or whatnot. So I think umbrellas have become even more popular now than ever. A lot of people wanting to protect themselves from the sun. But I agree with this one. Just make sure that you're doing it properly and carefully.
And on a windy day, don't put
Oh,
those
yeah.
thin, flimsy ones in because there's no way they're staying.
We laugh sometimes. It looks like people have rain umbrellas on the beach. I'm like, what are they doing? And what is that even doing for them?
Number five, do play games away from people. Whatever it is, from tossing a football, or if you play spike ball, do it away from people where there is open space, meaning further away from the water usually.
Yep, I agree with this too. I think I've been there before where Brandon and I love playing like paddleball, and sometimes you'll get a rogue hit and it might land near someone, but intentionally make sure that you're giving space.
Yeah. I always said this, especially with guys. I don't know why guys who don't play football like to bring a football to the beach. I believe they're showing off for girls.
Probably, but it's one thing if they want to play catch. Like, listen, I was just in Cape Cod. We brought a bunch of games. Like, we really did, which is so fun. And like, there was a football and they were just playing catch. They weren't tackling each other. So, but again, doing it with a respectful distance to other people.
Okay. Number six, and this is one of my pet peeves, one of my all-time pet peeves. Do fill in the holes you dig. Now, I don't understand it. Okay, that's me. But for some reason, when people come to the beach, they have an obsession with digging, especially fathers and sons. Very often, by the way, the fathers dig, the son watches. But when you're done excavating, fill in the hole so nobody falls in it. And please, we've seen this every summer somewhere in the country. Don't bury anyone in that hole.
I agree. I think there's been a lot of issues with this in the past too. So you think people would learn, but I think it's just common knowledge that when you leave, fill it in.
Yeah. And again, I don't get it. Now you see more and more, sometimes fathers will come with legit shovels, not the beach shovel, like a shovel. And you
Yeah.
know, but okay, all right. Um, Number seven, I think everyone would agree with this. Do not leave any garbage on the beach. This includes empty water bottles and yes, diapers.
Yeah, I think again, no brainer. Just clean up after yourself, especially our beaches.
Enough said. Here's one that I think was more of 15 or 20 years ago than it is today. Do not play your music for the entire beach. Headphones or AirPods are appreciated. I think more people than not do that anyway. In the old days, Al, even when you were just a toddler, people would come with the boom boxes.
Well, I think people still play music. I think it's again just being mindful of your surroundings. Like again, this past weekend we had a speaker, but we weren't really close to anyone. And the beach we were at was kind of conducive to that. There weren't families near us or whatnot. But so I think it's okay. Just kind of read the room.
And here comes number nine. Do not shake your blanket or towel out near others. It's probably loaded with sand, so go to an open area. Speaking of sand, don't let your kids throw it.
Sometimes I'm guilty of this, not on purpose. I'll just like stand up and shake it out. But I think, yes, walk down to the ocean or wherever you are just to be mindful of the people around you.
Yeah, with a lot of these things, sometimes you do it inadvertently or you
Yeah.
almost make a mistake. That's different.
Yeah,
It's
I
intent,
agree.
right? It's all about intent.
Yeah.
And finally, on my list, do follow the lifeguard's directions. If they blow their whistle and move you, you see them up there and they're doing this, and there's a reason. Like maybe you are near a rip current, which you wouldn't know under any circumstances. They are there to help you and keep swimmers safe. It drives me crazy when people completely ignore the lifeguard blowing it down. And again, my partial defense, they don't know it's them. Maybe they're being pointed at. But when you hear the whistle blow 4 or 5 times and they're pointing at you, it's probably you.
Yeah. There's been a lot of times when we're kind of just like, do these people not get it at this point? And to a degree, I will say I think sometimes the lifeguards could not blow it for the fourth time and get off the stand and just go tell the person, which they do.
Ooh,
But I think, well, no,
ooh.
I mean, sometimes it's just
Yeah,
like they're not understanding, and they're obviously not from around here. So unfortunately, like I think that's the only way to get to them. But it's crazy. Like they're there to protect you. Obviously, they're not stopping you from doing something for the sake of it. There's a reason.
yeah. I don't have this on there, and maybe I should because maybe the most important rule that I didn't even include should be don't go in the water when there are no lifeguards on duty. I mean, we've already seen it happen at the Jersey Shore 4 or 5 times this year before the lifeguards started their regular season that people have drowned because they went in the water when there were no lifeguards around and they got caught in a rip. And like I said, the average person has no idea what a rip looks
I
like.
know. I know.
And I find it like of all the reasons why you might lose your life, drowning because you were in swimming when there were no lifeguards and you didn't know what a rip was, like has to be towards the top of the list.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah. All right, so those are my beach rules or my beach commandments, and I'm wondering what you would add if you were doing the list.
Honestly, I feel like you covered like so much. Like
Really?
really, like cuz I'm trying to think like how many rules can you actually have?
Well, that's why I come up with the 10 commandments because
I know.
that's what they're all.
One I will say, and I guess it kind of ties back to like don't like your towel with the sand, don't shake it out. I've been in situations where someone has sprayed sunscreen on me. Like they're doing the mist and it's getting on like they're so close and it's getting onto me. It's in my mouth. Like that's something I cannot stand.
That's a good one,
Yeah.
especially because the wind sometimes might be blowing it. Yeah. Now, one I've used in the past that I've sort of taken out the last couple of years, and I don't know, do I, is don't walk on the dunes. I hate
Yeah.
when I hate when parents let the kids. Notice I said let the kids. Kids will do it because they don't know any better. Okay, I understand. Or they, if they're so young, they don't even they couldn't read the sign. But if you're a parent, you got to get your kids off the dunes right away.
Yeah. And I guess one more, and this is not really a rule because sometimes I find it really entertaining when people bring pool floats and they try to go in the ocean. It's hilarious to me. Like it truly is hilarious. Because I'm like, where do you think you're going? Like this is not Aruba where there's no weight, there's nothing, and it's really calm. Like it's hilarious.
That is a really good one. Usually, the lifeguards, and again, towns are different. Usually, the lifeguards will blow their whistle and explain to a parent that your kid taking that out in the water is actually more dangerous than it is
I
helpful
agree.
because they could get tangled up and get taken under the water. Plus, it gives you a false sense of security. Oh, I'm on this floating, nothing can happen. In the ocean, anything can happen.
Yeah. No, I agree. And I think the last one would be talking on the phone and being
Okay.
like mindful of conversations. Um, I'm guilty of it, but I go down to the ocean usually because you have free time, you're catching up, whatever it is. But I can't stand whether you're even people that I'm sitting with. I think it's so rude and annoying when you're sitting there having a full phone conversation. Go somewhere else or let them know that you'll call them back later.
And on a crowded beach, which it can be, especially on the weekend, you are going to be relatively close to other people. And listen, there's no doubt about this. I am so guilty of this. When I talk on the phone, I talk louder.
Too, and me too.
And so you're on the phone. You are, of course, we don't know what with the other person, but we're hearing your conversation loud and clear. And you might be laughing or giggling or all that. And you're sitting there and you're trying to have a relaxing day, read a book. You're scrolling through your own Instagram or whatever, and you hear this complete conversation. That is rude. Of course, we can apply talking on the phone to a lot of places, right? Not just the
Yeah.
beach.
Oh yeah. But I think that's a really good one.
Anything else bug you about the beach?
No, honestly, I feel like you covered everything. And now I need a solid beach weekend this weekend to see if there's anything else that annoys me.
Yeah, you are going to be coming home this weekend for Father's Day, and if the weather forecast holds, Saturday looks spectacular. Sunday looks good. We could get two good beach days in there. Of course, things can change. We all know that, but hopefully we'll do that because, as you know, every summer, you or mommy would say, "What do you want to do for Father's Day?" And my perfect Father's Day is being on the beach. Unfortunately, we won't be joined by Brandon, my son, this weekend. He's got other things to attend to, his family that he couldn't come down. But having you is good enough. So
Oh, thanks, Dad.
looking forward.
Be looking forward to it.
Yeah. So anyway, as I said in the top, this is our last dad and daughter download, certainly for the summer. Things have changed since we started this back in October, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Late October. Things have changed. I have unretired, and I'm back working on Beach Radio, 96.7 and 104.1. This is a shameless plug. I'm on from 1 to 5 in the afternoon, playing the Jersey Shore's very best oldies. So I'm working again. You just have a schedule that you're all over the place. Often you don't know far in advance that you have something that you have to do, something for work may pop up and all that. And it's just been harder and harder for us to lock in a day to do this. So we're going to take some time off, and then maybe sometime after Labor Day we'll reevaluate what we want to do. But there are three groups I have to really thank, and I know you'll agree with me. Obviously, our friends at the Causeway family of dealerships, for being so supportive. They have been very supportive of a lot of things I do, including sponsor my Hometown View. They're just great people, and The Wintrode family, they go back more than 50 years in the car business. I've said it, and I would not buy a car from anyone else because they are just good people who do so many good things for the community. So thank you to them. To our friends at the Crab's Claw Inn, especially the big clam himself, Sam Hammer, who, again, another one who has just supported a lot of things I've done over the years. We really appreciate that, and we love the Crab's Claw, and we will be there multiple times, certainly during the summer. And last but no way least is Steve Meyer from the ShoreSportsInsider.com. ShoreSportsInsider.com. When I started this, I reached out to Steve and said, Steve, I'm a technical idiot. Could you help with this? And not only has he helped, we put this up each week on ShoreSportsInsider.com where people can just click on the link there and watch it very simply. We also put it on where you would normally get your favorite podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, and what am I missing?
YouTube, Spotify, Apple.
And Apple. But Steve does all that for us. He oversees the recording, and we are big fans of ShoreSportsInsider.com. They do a phenomenal job covering high school sports in the Shore area. And Steve, we can't thank you enough because there's no way I could have done this without you. And I know Alex feels the same way.
I agree. Seriously.
So thank you to them. And of course, thanks to those of you that have watched this either on a regular or irregular basis, but have watched it and have been somewhat entertained by it. For Alex and I, it's a kick that we get to spend a night each week talking to each other no matter what for about a half an hour. But thank you for those of you who have reached out and said you enjoy it. We really do appreciate it. So for the last time, I'm going to say you've been listening to the Dad and Daughter Download. I'm the dad, Kevin Williams.
And I'm the daughter, Alex Williams.
And thank you for watching and enjoy your summer.
Yes.
Love a Jersey Shore summer, right?
Nothing like it. Truly nothing like it.
Nothing like it. So,
thanks, Dad. It's been fun.
Al, I love you, baby. Thank you.
Love ya. Bye.
Bye, everyone.